Now before starting with the practice set 3.5, we will see some of the property or the statements of the theorem which we are going to use to solve the sum of practice set. So here total 4 properties are which I am going to explain you. So the first one I will take. First of all, I will draw here one of a circle. So here I have taken one of a circle. In that circle, I will take a line. Already earlier I have explained you what this line called. A line which is intersecting the circle at 2 points. For example, I am taking the 2 points are A and B. So a line intersecting the circle at 2 points. So this line is called as secant. Now B is a point on the circle. Through that point B, I will draw the another line in such a way that it is touching the circle. The word touching is coming for the line which is exactly touching the circle at one and only one point. So this line is called as tangent. Already we know, I have explained you about these two terms. So the secant is a line which intersecting the circle at two points, and a tangent is a line which is touching the circle at one and only one point. Somewhere here I will take point M and here I will take point C. So line AB is a secant of a circle. Line BC is a tangent of the circle. Now one of the angle is formed. If we will see here between this line AB and line BC, that means the angle between the tangent and secant is nothing but this angle ABC. So this is nothing but angle between, first line is tangent and this line is secant. So angle between tangent and secant we are taking here. So this is the angle between tangent and secant. So whenever an angle is made up of tangent and secant, the measure of that angle, that is measure angle ABC, is, for is we are using here equal to, is half of, so we are taking 1/2 for half of measure of its intercepted arc. So here angle is ABC, so obviously intercepted arc is this arc, nothing but arc AMB. So here we will write measure arc AMB. So this is the property we'll going to use for solving the sum, and whenever you will use this property, we have to mention here the reason that theorem of angle between tangent and secant. So this is the reason you have to remember. Whenever you will use it, you have to write the reason, theorem of angle between tangent and secant. Again I will explain you. If an angle is made up of secant and the tangent, the measure of this angle is half of measure of its intercepted arc. So intercepted arc is nothing but AMB. So I have taken here AMB. For example, if the measure arc AMB will be equal to 70 degree, then we have to find this angle. So how we can find it? It is half. Measure arc is given us 70. So we can divide it 2 1s are, 2 3s are, and 2 5s are. So like that we can find measure angle ABC, which we have got 35 degrees. So it is very easy to apply this theorem. Only you have to remember, whenever we'll use this property, we have to write the reason, theorem of angle between tangent and secant. Now we'll see the second property. For second property, again I will take one of a circle. So I will take here one of a circle. In that circle I will take here chord. So I have taken here chord AB. I will take here another chord, that is chord C and D, and both are intersecting here at point M. First of all, we will explain here what is the condition here. In a circle, two chords AB and CD are intersecting each other internally. Here the word internally is very important, because wherever both the chords are intersecting each other, that point of intersection is lie interior of a circle. So it is called internally they are intersecting each other. Now, whenever two chords of a circle intersect each other internally, now we will talk about one of a chord. One chord is here, I will take here, so it will be easy. So I will take here AB. Somewhere here point M is given to us. So on chord AB, which are the two segment which is containing the point of intersection? We have to take here the two segment in such a way that point of intersection should come in that. So here the three segments name we can take. First is segment AB, second is segment AM, third is segment BM. Out of these three segment, name of these three segment, we have to take the two segment in which point M should come. That means point of intersection should come in it. So two segment is nothing but AM and BM. So I will take here AM and BM. Same way we will go for the next chord, that is CM. So if I will take that is C and D, sorry, it is not CM, it is CD. Somewhere here point M. So again we will take on this chord two segment which includes point of intersection. So obviously the two chord is CM and DM. So here we will take that CM and DM. What actually we have taken this AM, BM, CM, DM is nothing but because of this intersection of two chord, they are nothing but the parts on each chord. So on AB we are getting two part, AM and BM. On CD we are getting two part, that is CM and DM. So we have taken all these parts. So the product of the section on one chord is equal to the product of the section on other chord. Whenever two chords of a circle intersecting each other internally, then the product of the section on one chord is equal to the product of the section on another chord. Whenever we will use it, we are writing here theorem of internal. Here the word internal is important because they are intersecting each other internally. Internal division of chords. So you have to remember this reason. Whenever two chords are intersecting each other internally, we are taking the multiplication or the product of the two parts on one chord is equal to the product of the two parts on other chord. And the reason is theorem of internal division of chord. Now we'll go for the third property. So again I will draw one of a circle. I have taken here one of a circle. Now what I will do, here I will take one chord. So here I am taking one of a chord A, B. Here I will take another chord, that is chord C, D. So I have taken here chord A, B and C, D. Now till now they are not doing anything with each other. Now if I will extend it somewhere outside the circle, they will intersect each other. So here at point M they are intersecting each other, but here the condition is they are intersecting each other externally because the point of intersection lie in the exterior of a circle. Now again the same way we have to take the two part on chord AB. So here I will take chord AB. So this is chord A, B, and the extension part here somewhere here point M. Again the same reason, but we have to be careful here. We will not take the part AB and BM. we have to take the two segments in which M should include. You have to be careful while taking the segments. So here first segment we will take AM. So M is coming in that. Second segment we will take BM. So M is also coming in that. So first we will take AM and BM. Same thing will repeat for CD. Here the segment is CD. So C and D. Here the point M is outside the circle. Again on this segment we have to take two segments in such a way that M should include in that. So CM and the another one is DM. So be careful while taking the section. So DM, CM and DM. If you will observe, the upper segment and the lower segments are same, but here very easy to take the segment AM and BM, CM and DM, but here you have to be careful because it is outside. So first is AM, second is BM, first is CM and then DM, like that. And again same way, the product of the segment or the section on one chord is equal to the product of the sections on the other chord. And whenever we are taking this property, we are writing theorem of external. Here only the change is this word, external division of chords. So very simple, whenever they are intersecting externally, here the word external will come, and whenever they will intersect internally, here the word internal will come. Now we'll see the fourth property. So here first of all I will draw one of a circle. So I have taken one of a circle here. In that circle I will take one tangent and one secant. I have taken here one tangent and one secant. For example, I am taking here AB. Line AB is a tangent and line AC is a secant which intersect the circle at point D, or we can say C and D are the point where secant ADC intersecting the circle. You can read the secant as ADC also, or you can read the secant as line AC also, line DC also. Only you have to remember that it is intersecting the circle at point C and D. Now we have to take here one of a property. So here I have taken a full line, that is secant and tangent. Now I will not take the full line, I will take some part from this secant and some part from this tangent. So what I will take, I will draw again one of a circle. So I have taken here one circle from point A till point B. That means from this point A till this point B, this part only I will take here. So this is point A and this is point B. That means some part from this tangent I am taking, and it is some part is nothing but in the form of segment. So this segment we have taken from the tangent, therefore this is called as tangent segment. It is called tangent segment. Same way here, from this secant I will take some part of this secant, that is A, D and this C. That means this D and this C. That means only this part I am taking. This part we are not taking, and this part is also we are not taking. So again this is nothing but a segment which we are taking from the secant. Therefore this part is known as secant segment. First we have taken the segment from the tangent, so it is known as tangent segment. Here we have taken the segment from the secant, so it is called secant segment. And the property we will use it is nothing but tangent. Here secant. Both are having segment together. So with this segment together, we will write segments, because tangent is also having segment and secant is also having segment. So we will write here plural form, that is segment. So tangent, secant, segments, and the theorem which we will use is tangent, secant, segments theorem. Like that the name of this theorem is arise. So it is easy to understand and easy to remember also. One side is tangent, another side is secant, and the reason which we will going to use is tangent, secant, segment theorem. Now what is this theorem says? First of all, we have to find here the two segment on this secant in such a way that this point of intersection should come in it. So it is very easy. I have explained you. The first segment is AC. Second is AD. A is including in that. So the first is AC. Second is AD. So we have taken here two segment on the secant. But whenever we'll talk about tangent, here only the one segment is there, no other segment. So what we will do? Here the two term is there, here only AB is coming. So what we will do? This AB only twice we will take. Here we have taken the two segment starting from A. So AC and then AD. But whenever we'll take the segment here on tangent, so we are having only one segment. So we'll take here same segment two times. Then product of the segment on the secant is equal to the product of the segment on the tangent, we can say. So here AC into AD will be as it is, and AB into AB will become AB square. So whenever tangent and secant both are intersecting outside, the square of this tangent segment is equal to the product of the segment on the secant, and the segment will be in such a way that this point of intersection should come in that. So it is nothing but this way. Now I will again revise it by taking the other figure, so it will be easy to understand. First of all, if I am taking here this way, from here till here, it is Q, this is P, R, S. Now this is tangent and this is secant. So first of all, we will take the two side here, or we can take the square of the tangent also. So the tangent is PQ. So we can write PQ square, and the two side on this secant we have to take such a way that P should include. So first one is PS, another one is PR. So we will take PS into PR, and whenever we will use this property. We will write here tangent, secant, segments theorem. So all the four property I have explained you. Hope you have understood. Remember it again and again. We will use it for solving the sum of practice set.